channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, then welcome. And you guys, I'm feeling so in my goddess empress energy right now with the fresh red roses, my sage, my strawberry detox water, and my crystal. Gaia is it for me. Drop me a comment. I would love to know who's here. Who am I connecting with on this channel? If it's your first time here, then welcome. In this space, I like to just talk about the unseen world. So our feminine energy, self-love, wellness, how to feel good, self-care, spirituality. And so if that's your thing, then make sure you stick around, subscribe, join the fam. And so today, let's talk about intimacy. Let's get into celibacy. You know, I love talking about this. You guys know I'm over 3 years celibate, and I feel like it's important to just share, like, what are some things that can turn us on besides sex? Don't get it twisted, you guys. Like, celibacy does not mean that I'm not tapped into my pleasure, you know, which is a huge part of feminine energy. Our vibration is linked to our mood. You know, when you hear people say like raising your vibration or good vibes, you know, they're talking about your mood, essentially, how you're feeling, your energy. And so tapping into your pleasure is a way to boost your vibration. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. Feeling happy, joyous. And so sexuality, it's natural. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's sacred, right? And I always like to remind us that, like, your sexual power, your sexual energy, this is a gift from the divine. And so when you're on a spiritual journey, when you're tapped into your divinity, or you're mindful of your energy, or you're living a conscious life, you want to be careful of who you share yourself with sexually, because it's so powerful. Like, it's how we bring life into the world, right? And so sometimes we can scatter our energy. Everything's trying to steal our attention, siphon your sexual energy, things like pornography, things like that. And so I feel like it's important to talk about something like this, where it's like, yes, we should feel pleasure. And yes, we can use and play in our sexual energy, but what are other ways that you can feel pleasure besides sex? And sex is not bad. Sex is beautiful. It's delicious, you know, decadent. With the right person, when you're really in love and in a committed relationship, it's beautiful. You can manifest through sex and enjoy one another. Pleasure. But if you're on a celibacy journey, this video is for you. Even if you're not on a celibacy journey, I feel like this is something that we can all talk about, because sometimes we might feel confused and feel like sex is the only way to feel pleasure, and it's lust is pushed in our face like all the time, and through the music and through in the world. And we can be overloaded. Our senses can become, we just forget that there's other ways. And when lust has your mind fully, then you're missing out on the other ways that you can feel good and tap into your sensual nature. So I was thinking about this today, and I was like, let me just share it with you guys. So 3 years celibate, right? It's like, girl, what have you been doing if you have not been doing that? What have you been doing? What's going on? I'll link some of my other videos on my celibacy journey and stuff like that. So when you are celibate, okay, now you have that chance to explore other parts of life, other parts of yourself, and get to know yourself. What brings you pleasure? What makes you happy? What excites you? What taps you into your inner world? What thrills you? You know, so it's cool, like, if you take a break from sex, you just get to know yourself better on a pure level, a playful level, and it's the real you. So there's an innocence there, but also it's just like your soul, right? Because we're in the 3D, we have this physical body. We can feel physically, but we can also feel internally, right? And so for me, Something that turns me on besides sex is art. People might think art is just a picture painted on a wall in a museum. But you guys, art is so much deeper than that. Art is like the essence of life. You can talk about like a painting, but it also means the things that you create with your hands, right? So maybe you're a writer, words coming to life off of the page, or maybe you're into music. That is art. Makeup, like me with my hands, painting my face thrills me, it excites me, it makes me feel alive inside, and it makes me feel excited. It turns me on. What is it for you? And there's so many art forms, and this is like your inner child. This is how you play. It's exciting. So for me, when I have an idea for a look for my art, even digital art, because you guys know I have an Etsy store, right? But just playing in art, creating, it's so fun, and it makes me feel sexual. And it's like hard to really explain, but if you're an artist out there, whatever your form is, when you're lost in that world, when you are in the mist, when you are creating, time does not exist, and you're just in the moment, and you're really experiencing life, like the abundance of life. There's no limits, and you're channeling the divine. So you're connected to a higher vibration. So you are feeling good. There's no sex. Where is the sex? There's no sex, but you're feeling excited. You're feeling like anything's possible. You're like being lit up. You're being like inside, right? So it's exciting. That's like the best way to put it. And for me as an artist, from conceptualizing then to bringing it into reality, there's just like those moments. I'm trying to find the words, but how do you like to play? Like, what makes you feel excited? For me, it's color, you know, and for me, it's music. Have you ever heard a song and it just takes you someplace else? You're just lost in it in that moment. So it feels like a piece of ecstasy. It feels like bliss, like an orgasm in a way. And so I'm using these words because they relate, because these are ways that we can feel turned on, we can feel excited, we can feel alive without sex. Like, there's so many other ways to tap into our pleasure and our senses. All right, so art, using your sexual energy from your sacral chakra, but using it for something other than sex. Your sacral chakra, where your sexual energy is your creative energy, literally. And so that's why I'm telling you, this is not just my ideas, it's just like, it really is. It's connected. You can feel pleasure, sensuality in other ways than sex, literally. So if you're creating music, if you're a producer, if you play the drums, if you play the guitar, if you're writing the music, if you're a dancer, right? Like moving to the rhythm, this is all art. If you're a chef, if you're putting those flavors together, you're making art, you're making love on a plate. And it's about love, it's about passion, it's about creativity, because there's endless ways. Like when you tap into your higher nature, your abundance, like infinite creations, because you're tapped into a higher source, the divine. And so there's just so much beauty, so much pleasure, passion to be felt in art. I'm not for labels. I really am not for labels. We are so many things. We're not just one thing, right? But if there's anything I consider myself personally, it's an artist. That's one way that taps me into my sensuality. When you are playing, it's just gonna feel sexual. Like, there's no other way to put it. And you will not know this unless you allow yourself to. I just wanna encourage you, because there's so many ways to feel good besides sex. Explore the rainbow of life. The second thing that turns me on besides sex on my celibacy journey, and it's sensual, is food. It's crazy. Like, now that I don't smoke weed anymore, I'm just in my natural vibe. And I love it this way because I'm present with myself and I'm in this moment. I'm really tasting the food. So like things like strawberries, they're juicy and sweet and tart. You know, like enjoying life's simple pleasures. And one of the biggest things is like food. It's so sensual to eat when you're present with yourself, because if you're driving and like you're eating, or like fast food, like this rushed culture that we find ourselves in. But I know in Europe, they know what's up. Like they take a 2-hour lunch, they're present. I've been thinking about going to Italy, you guys. Like, catch me in Italy in the next couple of years. Like, I'm gonna do a vlog. No, but actually, yes. Enjoying that pasta, you know, tasting it, being present. Now your senses are being ignited and it's pleasurable, it's exciting. So it's not about overindulgence. The same thing with sex. Like, you can't climax 5 times at the same time. So you don't have to overindulge. It's just about savoring that moment. So food, healthy, real food. I don't mean like Gushers. You know, like I grew up on like Gushers and all that like fake stuff. No, but like the real stuff that grows out of Gaia, tasting the different flavors and discovering like sage and basil, making my own food and enjoying it. It's so cool how our creator has made all these amazing flavors, and when you come across 2 or 3 or whatever that what mixes well, just enjoying it. Eating is a sexual experience. It can be, when you're present with yourself. That's the biggest thing. And I heard somebody talk about this a while ago. I didn't really get it in the moment, but now I do. Especially on a celibacy journey, because you start to pick up on the subtleties of life. Because when you're on a celibacy journey, you become more sensitive. Truly, you do. And so you like pick up on texture more, taste more. Your body is purifying itself, it's cleansing itself energetically. It's just you. You're sensitive energetically. So also like taste, like it's more like intense in a way. Or maybe you're just more mindful, more conscious of what you're doing, what's entering your body through your mouth, through your senses. And so food could be a sensual experience. And on my healing journey, on my celibacy journey, I've just become healthier in so many ways. And so now I'm so much more aware of the food that I put into my mouth, and I can taste what's real and what's like fake food, and what my body actually craves and what really nourishes it, what makes it feel good, right? And so eating should be pleasurable. It shouldn't be rushed. And just finding natural foods and like connecting with spirit in that way, connecting with God in that way, because of the details that's in the food, like the flavor, the subtleties though. My favorite food right now, red bell pepper. Red is like surrounding me everywhere I turn around like recently, but red bell pepper is so good. Like I was trying to describe the flavor to my daughter and she wouldn't try it. And I'm like, it's not, she's like, it's pepper. I'm like, it's not spicy. Like it's not sweet. It's not tangy. And so I enjoy it, you know, like the flavors. What are your favorite flavors? What are the most pleasurable foods for you to eat? And it's fun. Like this is a way to enjoy life. Things like dark chocolate, right? Not too sweet, or cacao. So good. Coffee, I'm into coffee right now. Teas. Playing with flavors and just trying new things out, seeing what feels good to you, what doesn't. It's a sensual experience. So, okay. Things that turn me on besides sex. The last thing would be that I've noticed in the opposite sex, but just in general, something that turns me on and that I've discovered on my celibacy journey, you guys, is that I'm a sapiosexual. Sapiosexual. And that's beautiful for me. Like, that is my true nature. I wouldn't have known this if I wasn't on a celibacy journey for so long. Like, your celibacy journey taps you into your true nature. Who are you on the purest and most natural level? You know, without mixing anyone else's energy, just getting to know yourself, spending time with yourself. You're in a relationship with yourself. You know what I mean? And sapiosexual, that means like I'm attracted to someone's intelligence, somebody's mindset. Like, that's what turns me on in a sexual way. Sapiosexual. What are they about? Like, what do they think about? What do they talk about? What's their mindset? Do they know why they think what they think, or why they believe what they believe? You know? So intellectual stimulation, mental stimulation, and can we dive deep? Who are you? Right? And so this is when someone can teach me, like as a feminine being, we crave for the masculine to teach us. We want to be led and we want to learn. If you're sapiosexual, if you're tapped into your divine nature, you know? And so it's about just getting to know yourself and knowing others on a deeper level versus just superficial. So by you being on a celibacy journey, again, like, you can still feel sexual pleasure. You can feel turned on without physical touch. And I recommend this, ladies, fellas, I recommend this. Like, are you attracted to someone because of their mindset? Are you attracted to them because of how they live their life, what they stand for, like how they are, their soul, their heart, how they show up for you, deep, like, who are they inside? So expansion, you know, and growth, spiritual growth, but just healing, love, and all of these things you can't see. You can feel them though, and they're gonna bring you happiness. They're gonna boost your mood. They're gonna make you feel fulfillment and like happiness inside, pleasure, and you may feel sensual. And now you're drawn to someone for the right reasons because it's deeper than just physical. Sex is like the icing on the cake. And I tell you guys this in all my celibacy videos because it's something that I really resonate with now. Is like not seeing sex as something that is whatever. And just like, yeah, we just did something. Like, no. You're so sacred and you are valuable. And so we want to be able to find other ways to thrill ourselves, tap into our sexual energy and play with it, play within it. And when it comes to like someone else, being drawn to somebody for deeper reasons than just like the flesh, right? Without satisfying the flesh, like. So this video is going spiritual like it always does. Like, because we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So I think it's so cool that like we get to have sex as a gift, and sex is amazing, you know? And we need it in a way, right? To get here, somebody had to have sex for you to be here, right? Obviously, it's natural, but there's just other ways to play. And so these are the things that turn me on besides sex, art, and someone's mindset, sapiosexual, and even food, because it is such a sensual experience when you would allow it to be, when you're present in the moment. And so drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts on today's video. Are you on a celibacy journey? Like, who's here? Who's on this video? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. I'm sending you love and power and healing on your journey. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye.